Hi, welcome back to Discussing Fitchburg Now. I'm your host, Sam Squalia. Our show here is going to be on the arts and culture community, how we use arts and culture to benefit every aspect of our lives, really. Definitely. From music therapy to learning, right, to education. I mean, just everything.
Just bringing people together on common ground.
Art isn't everything, so.
All right, so, we have our art and culture guests here.
Extended panel.
A whole panel full of guests. And then on the second half, we're going to have Joe Bowen from the Cultural Council to tell us all about the Fitchburg Cultural Council and the grants and how to apply for those grants, which you know about, Kenisha.
I do know a little something.
Yeah.
A little something.
You were on the Cultural Council when we were awarded. Fitchburg was the top cultural council in Massachusetts.
Yes.
In what was that, 2015?
2016.
2016.
Yes. Fitchburg.
Top cultural council in the state.
That's right.
Yep.
Fitchburg recognized.
So you can tell us about all the ways that art and culture benefit our community in economic, social, cognitive, therapeutic.
I mean, I could drop a little knowledge, just because I love it so much. Yeah. Art for me saved my life. So I am extremely passionate about art because I know it does have healing properties. I know when I was going through just different types of abuse when I was a child, books saved me. Mm-hmm. I would read all the time and it would help me escape because I couldn't physically escape. So that's why, I bring the racy and literacy. No, but but I do seriously. I believe in arts in its traditional forms, if you will. So your writing, your vocality, your music from behind, like what Eddie's going to bring to us. I believe in visual art, but I do believe art is expansive. And it can benefit us in ways of dance and healing therapies. I believe we can use this as an educational tool. And there are so many studies that show that art definitely can propel your communities. It helps with your economy. It helps with housing. It helps in so many different ways. Miriam Ruiz, she's been a teacher for, I'm not going to say how many years, because I'm not going to date you, girl. But
let's start by everyone introducing themselves and what you do.
Okay. So my name is Kenisha Coy, and I have previously been on the Fitchburg Cultural Council. I started nonprofit My Care Initiative 2 years. It's been 2 years now, and
congratulations!
Thank you. I love my baby.
And Christina, you're also on My Care Initiative.
Yes, of course I'm on My Care Initiative, and I'm very honored to be part of that project and initiative. And I sit on it as the communications director. I assist with as much as I can in getting the message out, the word out, making sure, what we put out there looks appealing to the eye, and, have you guys come and join us and share that good energy. But aside from that, I'm very involved in the community, and my number one aspect of involving arts is through my my community work that I do with kids. I do a lot of program development, and art plays a major role in everything I do, whether it's from nutrition, we're learning about nutrition, whether we're learning about loss, whether it's drawing a picture, painting a picture, dealing with building something, or even just planting a tree. Mm-hmm. We keep very busy, but the arts definitely have brought a lot of kids together, and it actually shows your uniqueness. Mm-hmm. So we really want to emphasize and, sharing that with people, and art definitely brings that to the table.
Great.
I really truly believe that. I'm Miriam Ruiz. I'm a retired ESL teacher, and I constantly used art in my classroom. When they first come to me, some of them don't know any English at all. I try not to speak Spanish to them because I don't have all Spanish students. I have students from many other different countries that speak different languages. But what I do is I try to gain confidence. I try to get their affect filtered down so they could trust me and they could have confidence to really express themselves. And what do I use? Pictures. Art. And I do use pictures. And sometimes teachers think that they don't know, but you'd be surprised how much they know because of their own mother tongue or their own language, how much they know. And how do I know that? Because I've set my lessons, and when they draw something, I say, gee, but they know this already. I don't, you know what? And then we learned, of course, we learned vocabulary. We learned so many things. But during my 25 years in Fitchburg of teaching, I've done plays with my children. I've done dancing. They love dancing. Of course, pictures. They sing. They get together with all the other children from the school. Some of them have enough courage to join the chorus, so they learn. So art is everywhere. Aesthetically, art is everywhere. And we used to have, we still have a lot of after-school programs, but I remember when I was over in Academy, which is now Lonjo, we used to have an after-school program, and thank you to Jennifer Jones. She was the one that really pushed that for us.
The after-school program?
The after-school program. And I remember that particular year, I had a lot of children from South America. Oh. And I used to have a different lesson every week. And one week I told them, I says, I don't have anything for you to do today because I have balloons. They said, balloons? What are we going to do with balloons? I started doing art with the balloons. And we got
making dogs?
Dogs and flowers and giraffes and monkeys. And they were so, and they started talking among themselves, and some of the words that they already had gotten to know. I said, gee, this is wonderful. Well, the reason why I bring that, to you is because I have a young lady she must be like 24. She has her own business, and that's what she does. She does art with the balloons. She decorates amazingly. And now she's into flower arrangements. So, it's amazing how one little thing that could blossom.
Yeah.
And it was just a little piece of nothing that I brought to them as an art project, how it blossomed for her. And there's a lot of children that have learned with me, the English language. So I'm very proud of them.
And may I quickly just plug in everything that Miriam and Christina said is really the essence of art. People sometimes think that, art, you're only drawing something, it's not that important.
It's just something to look at.
Right, but there are so many creative properties that you apply to business, that you apply to so many different aspects of life. And what I read something today that was interesting, to me anyway. It spoke about how business executives are now looking for people who have a certain type of creativity and an art background because they are related to art, because they need people who can solve problems creatively. Like, that just makes sense, because our world is changing and it's shifting in so many ways, and we've got to be able to be creative in how we handle problems. So, sorry, Eddie. Eddie, would you play and introduce yourself? Is that okay?
Yeah.
So I'm Eddie. Most people know me.
Eddie.
I've been able to make my living as a musician and an artist pretty much since I moved to Fitchburg. My degree is in music, my bachelor's degree, and then I have a master's in education. So I did a lot of research on what you were talking about, how the arts and music can improve, at least give you a better way to process information. I hope. But yeah, the healing properties, the power of it it's there, But anyway, so would you like a song?
Yeah, because that's going to bring up the next point. Over there, you've all been in your same way.
Get some vocals over here. Get some vocals over there.
See? Creativity.
right there, on the spot.
But I think there's a beauty in music. It gets everyone engaged, and it makes you feel so many different things. And you can hear lectures, and I'm not saying that lectures don't have their own place, but art just brings its own uniqueness, and it connects people, or has the ability to connect people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Michael, you're a singer, right?
I am. I'm a singer and a DJ. I'm from around the area. Music has always really been a passion for me, you know. I just sing so I can kind of show the world there's still hope, you know what I mean? It's not about like being famous or being at the top of the world or anything, you know. As long as people can like hear the positive message, I don't even care if they really know my name. You know what I'm saying? Like what Kenisha's saying about everything else, all about the arts.
So do you write your own songs?
I do, yeah. I don't have anything really out yet, but I made a cover on YouTube of Cold Water a few months ago.
So good.
So you have a positive, uplifting message in your songs. Is that the gist?
Yeah, I do. You know, I mean, people can try to tear you down as much as they want, you know what I mean? But like, for your talents, your abilities, gifts, you know, but if you let them torch you like that, how are you ever gonna overcome their negativity and fulfill your potential?
Right.
I mean, I fully believe that if you look past that, then you can achieve anything, you know? Like, shame on the ones who label you, but like shame on yourself if you just let it get to you that hard. You know, you're not invisible. You know what I mean? You know, you're loved. So that's kind of my message.
Before we end, he's going to grace us with something that's really beautiful.
Sure.
Yes. So we have an example of the power of art and healing.
Yes.
Of art in education.
Yes.
Of art in economics.
Yes.
Right. Art and healing.
Yes.
Power of positivity. What else do we got?
Art in the community.
Yeah.
And then I just wanted to really stress.
Engaging with the children and the adults in the community with art.
Yeah.
I just wanted to really stress the importance, you know, of education and congratulate, you know, just thank you, Miriam, for teachers right now with the No Child Left Behind Act. Activities and the arts are not measured by anything or any assessments.
Right.
So then we're wondering why we don't see the
tests.
funding going into any arts and things like that in the school. So I think it's important for the community to understand that. I think it's our time right now to take on this responsibility. We can't always put this into the school system because they're already not addressing it. So I just wanted to be vocal and put that out there. Like, we can't just wait for someone to be like, all right, here's a program and do this. We can actually create this literally on your own, you know. So anything you can do to inspire and encourage people and empower people to share their art and to do art and to, you know, just involve it in their life, I think is very important.
And this is something I think you do really well. And I think that art, again, it can be something like these children who were creating art. This was actually a day that we had last year. We were celebrating literacy and connecting literacy with comic books. So we had a partnership with Fitchburg Library, and that's entertainment.
With reading,
Right.
with art,
Right.
engaging with the kids,
Right, and you
to
have
all connect.
Exactly, and you have so many kids who are like, well, reading is boring, but what's boring about it? And then when you start tapping into things that they find interesting, it's like, oh, okay, I guess it doesn't suck so much. But to bridge off of what Christina and Miriam were saying, in terms of education and being more proactive, we cannot just say somebody else has got to do something. We have got to figure out what our own art is. And
be proactive.
Exactly. One of the things that I like that you do is you just get out there and you get it done. And people are like, well, how does she do that? I kind of wanted that too, though. But I think it's really important, though. We don't have to be like you. You don't have to be like us, but do something, please. Pretty please with sugar on top.
If you have a passion, go for it.
Exactly.
Yes.
No matter what that is.
Right.
It's your own uniqueness. So if someone doesn't get it, it's okay.
Yep.
That's what makes you unique. But eventually they're gonna love it, and if they don't, you're still gonna be
That's
you
fine.
and do you. You
Because
know.
you will find people who will love it.
Exactly.
It's true.
You
Exactly.
make impacts. People don't realize that the impact that they have on not only just outside of themselves, but within their own circle of influence, right? So I can say something to you that could impact many other people because
Right.
you repeat it, or I just change the way that you think. Like, for example, with a vote, right? Some people think I'm just one person, I'm just one vote,
Right.
and that's not true. You're one person, one vote that has an influence all day,
Right.
everywhere
That's
you
true.
go. Like, oh, I voted today. Oh, she voted. Oh, I go vote. And then they
Right.
tell people.
Right.
Or when you're just there, you have a positive interaction with someone. And that's the same thing with art.
That's what positive vibes. It
Right?
just shares that positive energy
That's
of
right.
wanting to share. And
You make an impact to countless people.
I just want to say something, and I'd have to, this is kudos to the art teacher in Jen. Jen is a wonderful art teacher at Memorial Middle. And also our computer teacher. Oh my God, she's tremendous.
Computer?
Computer, and she does art also with with her computer
arts.
arts,
Design.
yeah, and designs, yeah. But and I think that is, and it's true what you say. They you know, they lack more. They need more
it's not
funding.
part of the curriculum, yeah, but
more
you
funding.
found your ways, and that's what I'm trying to say. Even
Well,
though
I did it in my own classroom.
exactly,
See?
so
And then
teachers
I
have that
brought it out.
power is
And
what
then I
I'm
brought it
trying
out.
to say. A lot of times,
You find it makes more of an impact on the students. They get more
Yes.
engaged.
Yes.
You can see the difference
Yeah.
when, instead of just a
And I've
rote
taken them out.
memorization.
Right.
Yes.
it makes it exciting for the students too. You know, we're starting to see a lot of students drop out of school for various reasons, and I think if we could bring the arts back into the school, I think we'll definitely see a bigger difference.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. This is a picture of, because we're talking about school, with Walgreens, and oh, we recognize that woman right there.
Yeah.
Who's that? Who's that? So we had children from Memorial, students from Memorial, creating art, and it was based off of the Happy and Healthy logo that Walgreens has.
Oh,
So yeah, that's
brilliant.
Yeah, well, we
Yeah, that
try.
was
We
nice.
try.
And this was recently?
This is our second year. We are in our third year with this
With the
community.
Walgreens community
Yes, arts.
window display.
Yes, yes.
With that being said, if you're interested, we have many more years to come that we would love to display your art as well. So
Okay,
make sure
see?
you follow up with My Care Initiative and find out about upcoming events and get your art displayed.
Yang to my yang. I mean it. I'm not sure how much time we have, but I was just struck by something that Miriam said and Christina said. I was thinking about, I recently went to see a friend he races motorcycles. And I was in this environment where I didn't think art would exist at all. And it was beautiful just to watch all of these just competitors just going at it. And they have these really colorful uniforms, but they have this gear.
Yep.
And they're just in this space of just so concentrated. And I was thinking art is so relevant here because they are focused and they're bringing the best of their ability here. And then one of them, he's shouting love to president of Woodcraft Technologies, Eric Wood. He has a mentorship program that he's working on developing, and it's just so interesting how analogous that bringing the art of who you are and what you're passionate about to be able to hopefully inspire and just be there for people. This is the essence of what art is bringing your own brand of excellence and hopefully making a positive impact on the people in your sphere of influence. So
I want to say something as a language teacher too.
Bring it.
What's so important, I did mention it, is you have to give them that confidence.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter what they do, but the thing is that they have to feel, they have to trust you.
yes.
They have to trust you.
And then that goes right back to what we're here to talk about, or one of the things we're here to talk about, our October 8th event. We have been awarded by National Calendar to have a national day. So we debut this day, which is National Go Day, Growth, Overcome, and Empower, October 8th at Fitchburg Art Museum.
And we have that flyer. Mike,
do.
we can pull that up. The flyer. Pull that up on the screen.
And I didn't realize,
There it is.
I knew it was
Yeah.
hard work because we
The
have been-
National Go Day.
Yep.
Is it Go or
yes,
GOE?
yep, go,
Uh-huh. All right. Growth, overcome,
And
and
empower.
empower.
yes.
So explain that.
So one of the really awesome things, because I have people like Christina and Miriam in my life who remind me to slow down. 18,000 applicants, 30 were accepted. We are one of the 30. And so what the purpose of this is, in the 2 years that we've been doing Breakthrough Silence, at all of our events, we have had people just come up to us. We were thinking about taking our own lives. We were thinking about so many negative things.
Yeah.
We thought that people didn't care about us. We thought that nobody wanted to hear our voices. This is helpful. So we believe
This is a lot of healing from sexual trauma.
sexual trauma,
Verbal,
physical.
physical,
Verbal and physical
abuse across the board.
Yes.
Just
Abuse.
any type
Yep.
of negative.
Yes. So And men too. Men have started talking to us and sending us emails, and we want everyone who comes to these events to know that you're safe. We care about you. We're going to help get you to the resources that you need, because we're not therapists. Working on becoming, not there yet, but we want you to feel safe, and we want you to feel that we totally care about you. And we have other survivors who have also wanted to share their stories. So we offer safe spaces and presentations in a space for people to be able to come and just feel that care, feel that, okay, I can be okay, because people like myself are working on overcoming, and we're not perfect. I'm not perfect at all.
So on October 8th at the Fitchburg Art Museum, from noon to 4 p.m., you're going to be talking about growing, overcoming, and empowering.
Right. We have workshops and presentations, and we'll have food, because we always have food, and we have
food.
Done. But we also have a citation from Governor Baker. We just recently got a letter from him greeting.
The national calendar.
Right. Exactly. Senator Warren is going to give us a citation as well. She won't be here, unfortunately, but someone from her office will be, and Attorney General also is sending us some love.
Nice.
So
Very busy.
we have been busy.
And this is a free event? Do
It
we
is
have to
free.
register ahead? We can just
It
show
would
up?
behoove people to do that, because don't be mad if all the food's gone. So
Yeah, so if they could RSVP by September 22nd, that would be great. But if not, we still welcome you all to join us at the Fitchburg Art Museum.
And you can go to mycareinitiative.org.
Yep.
mycareinitiative.org to find out more information about National Go Day and pre-register.
Yes. And I know we might get a question about the purple. It is one of my favorite colors, but right. But purple is aligned with domestic violence awareness in October, and that's the month that this is going to be in. So
All comes together.
it does, as art does.
And just so people have an idea, some of the workshops is going to include yoga, some sketching, gardening and how it's therapeutic, so. And if you have any ideas, come on down. So for our future events, you can definitely support us with that.
Yes.
Join the crew.
Yes. Always looking for volunteers, so.
Yes.
mycareinitiative.org.
Yes.
So when we talk about art, being therapeutic, right? Music is just really a huge component. I mean, everybody listens to music when they're happy,
Right.
or when they're sad, or to feel good, or when they're mad.
Yep.
You have your mad, you get your mad music.
Your workout music.
Right? Your workout
Yep.
music. You get your get pumped up music.
Yep. You're getting hot for a date music. Yep.
So how do you guys, are musicians, how do you find that you tailor your music to your different audiences?
I mean, I could probably relate it to DJing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's never an event where everyone's gonna like the same thing. You know what I mean? Everyone's always feeling different moods. But you can I can fade the negativity away just by slowly putting in positive music, and that's one of my favorite things about DJing. Which is why I started. I sing at all my events, so I can kind of just get the vibe, so they leave like at least with a smile on their face more than they did when they came in. You know what I mean?
You see them there hanging around just waiting, and the music starts,
Yep.
and they're like, all right.
Yeah, definitely.
And Eddie, you teach a lot of children,
Yeah.
right? Is that your main?
My source of income, you mean?
Is that what you mainly do?
No, play-in too. And I did teach in schools for a while, and I still do the after-school stuff. We're doing long show, but I've more been sending Justine and Julia over there. So for me, performing, I try to remain positive, to treat, even if I'm having to play for just a couple of people, and it's like, wow, this night, it's no good, I'm not gonna make anything. I still, I wanna really appreciate that audience that I do have, because that's, most of the time I'm so grateful that I make my living as an artist. And since, I guess since I moved to Boston, which was like in '93, I pretty much decided I was just going to do music and teach it and play in. So that's and that's what I've been able to do. I ended up in Fitchburg because I wanted to buy a house. I had been living in Boston, and but it's really, Fitchburg has been good to me as far as the arts. It has always. I worked for Tailor Symphony for the first few years that I came here, and I was, you know, I was able to make my living with that, and then now I own my own music store and teach lessons and play.
Eddie's Music on Mill Street.
Yeah, if the free advertisement. Thanks.
Get it, Eddie.
But yeah, and I feel it's important when you live in a community that you should be a part of that community. Or you know.
Give back in what ways that you can.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, I'm not too involved in politics.
And I'm not too very good at music.
Whatever works for you.
It all works together.
Together, we're
Yes.
a powerhouse.
Yeah.
That's it. And you know, and like someone was saying that you know you do what you believe in. And it's not about necessarily about the money. The rewards come. I mean, they do in every way, whether monetarily or you know other ways. So
Friendship.
yeah, they do.
Yep.
Definitely. But at My Care Initiative, we do accept money. So donations, we're so good with that.
Yeah, we have the Music for Youth program. If that's
Yeah. There's going to be a big benefit concert with Dan Cormier and
they're
friends
doing another one.
at the Senior Center.
And that provides after-school lessons. We give lessons and buy instruments for kids that can't afford it. A lot of them from Longzhou, which you know we feel that if they want to learn, we can get them an instrument. We can give them lessons. And
That's something that pretty much everyone can agree on, is supporting music
Stepping up.
for the youth.
Yes.
Now, but why is that? Why do you feel it's important for the youth, right, to engage
just-
in music?
Right.
How do you,
Because I've
do you notice
worked
a
with-
change or?
Just working with kids. I've been working with kids from Fitchburg, Leominster, and Garner for the last like 15 years in our community, and it just speaks to them. You see it now that everything on TV right now is related to music. Every commercial has a certain tune or sound that
a jingle.
it's just certain things that it just triggers for the students, and it's becoming a part of everyday living. Like you wake up, you listen to music, you go to sleep, you listen to music, they want to walk to school listening to music. You want to tell them take off your headphones, you know, it's just like a part of them. So that's their language
And
right
that is
now.
a really interesting thing, because if you take music and you think about it, it's repetitive, and it's kind of also why we should be careful about what we're putting in our system and what we're putting in our minds, because these messages are important. So when you have kids and you have them so impressionable, why would you not want them to be engaged in arts and then be able to have them
create their own music.
right and be able to guide
their
them
own stories.
right.
That's what it really does. Music actually, you're speaking from your heart, you're speaking from your experiences, you're speaking from your values. Whatever comes
culture.
out of your mouth, you're
Right.
speaking from what you see and what you learn. So these are, you're bringing out everything that you've taken
Start
in.
by playing
Right.
someone else's music, but then you change it to make it a little bit of your own.
Creativity.
Right, and one of the beautiful things about art is that it does exactly what you just said. It incorporates your culture and your environment, and it can start with you, but then it can morph into so much more. It has this intimate relationship with yourself, and then you're now connecting with other people and other things in other ways. It helps with self-esteem.
The kids who study music, they do a lot better in their other subjects.
Right.
That's been proven. And you know, even there's the Mozart effect, where they had people listen to Mozart while they were taking tests, and they would score higher.
Right.
But I don't know. It seems to make a difference because they tried it with Led Zeppelin and they didn't score any higher.
Not the same results.
The message counts.
I think the volume makes a difference too. The volume makes a difference.
Think about senior centers as well. You think about your senior centers, and you have certain type of art programs, and it helps with calming. It helps keeping certain seniors engaged, and you want that. Why would you not want minds and hearts stimulated?
Yeah,
in a good way.
And I've played at a lot of the assisted living places, and the staff will tell me that that's the first response they've seen out of them. You know, so it's to feel. I feel like I'm doing my job if those things happen.
That must make you feel really good.
It does. Yeah.
Because you're contributing.
So on that note, contributing, because in our second half we're going to talk about our Fitchburg Cultural Council grant.
Yes.
Right, which is a program which gives us money from the state, from the Massachusetts Cultural Council, and allows us anyone in the community to apply for these small dollar grants, to be able to use our art to help benefit the community in some way.
Yes.
So, since we have a whole group of creative people here, can we just talk about a few ways that any person could maybe apply for a grant or create art, even if they don't apply for a grant, create art to help affect our community?
Sure. Okay.
Like,
So
what are
I don't
some
wanna
things
give-
I'm sure Eddie, I've known Eddie has applied for grants. What do you think?
I think that
Some
sometimes we kind of get in our own way by thinking that we've got to do these grandiose things. You can get a coloring book and go to the library and post, hey, who wants to color with me? I'll be here every Thursday from 3 to 5. And you can have people just join you and you guys just let out your art within this coloring book.
Yeah.
It promotes just a group activity and the
Friendship,
continuity.
community,
Exactly.
It's an
And-
icebreaker.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a nice
therapeutic.
Yep.
Yep.
You can get into just musical groups and just, hey, let's sing. Let's sing for an hour. And you're releasing just all of this, whatever stress that you have, and in exchange, it's just something
If you
positive.
play
that you're
music,
doing.
you could put on a concert,
Yep.
free to the public.
If you're a writer, I mean, just,
You could put on a writing workshop.
There's tons of things.
yeah.
I know at the Spanish American Center we have an elders group, and Lionel Reinford does art classes with them.
He's amazing.
You know,
He's
we're always
fabulous.
incorporating
He is.
our own. You know, if we're talking about nutrition, we're doing fruit baskets on art pieces. If we're talking about Puerto Rico, may everyone send their blessings to Puerto Rico right now
Yes.
and prayers. We're doing the beach and the palm trees and things of that sort. So, you know, you can always incorporate it at any age level as well.
That's true.
But I think anything is art. I mean, when if you're talking to someone, you're improvising.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's nothing that was previously. So just find out what you
Your
like
artist.
doing and what you're good at.
A
and
theater
then
program. You can
That's
you
it.
can host a play.
Yeah.
But think about what you're doing and other people who are running for office. That is art in and of itself.
And it takes a certain person to
It
be able
really
to do
does.
that. I mean, I couldn't do that. You know, I can play guitar and do shows. But
And I can't play a guitar. So I can now.
So it really is finding what you are good at, what drives you, what lights
What
you
you
Empowers
want to
you.
share.
Right.
What empowers you?
And make
What
that your
empowers
art.
you.
and what you want to be good at. You don't necessarily have to be good at
Very
it. I mean,
true.
because I've had students, they say, I have no talent, I have no...
That is so
but
true.
I'm just, talent to me is you just have to want it bad enough to put in the time it takes. I mean, it takes time, practice, you know, for any
Agreed.
art to become good.
You know, that is a really good point because I think sometimes we get caught in that, right, we've got to be perfect and we've got to put out this excellent product and yeah, strive for excellence, but just get out there and do something.
Yeah,
Please.
Because I can't
Don't
sing, but
let
you're going to hear me. And if you run, that's on you, but I'm going to sing.
Don't let perfect be the enemy of the good.
Right. All right.
All right.
That was art right there. Good stuff.
Wordplay.
Right?
All right, so we're going to end our first segment here with a little song. Yes. Is that right?
Yeah.
Michael, you gonna sing for us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll sing a little bit.
Do we want him back
chorus.
there? I want to move him to maybe sit here in the front.
Little love music. When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. It's like an angel came by and took me to heaven. when I stare in your eyes, it couldn't be better. Let the music blast, we gon' do our dance. Bring the doubters on, they don't matter at all. Cause this life's too long, and its love's too strong. So baby, know for sure that I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go.
Nice.
Woo! Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everyone. All right, so we are going to cut to a short break, and then we're going to talk to Joe Bowen from the Fitchburg Cultural Council.
Thank you for the opportunity.
I gotta get some water before I go.
Hi, Sam Squally here with members of the Planning Committee for the Blacksmith Festival, the 14th Blacksmith and Art Festival, right?
That's it, yes.
Yeah, and it's going to be September 30th at Riverfront Park from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And can you guys tell me what we can expect to see? We have Joel, Ashok, and Paul. Thank you.
Blacksmiths.
Yeah, they're going to be out there burning
be out there.
coals and banging.
There'll
Designing
be about
and building.
30 of them competing in 3 different categories: novice, intermediate, and professional, through 10 to 4:30 in 3 different sessions. It's a live competition, a lot of fun to see.
So we'll be able to watch the blacksmiths work all day.
Not only watch, but interact with them while they're working. They'll answer questions and entertain.
Yeah, because there's really just a small barrier between us and them.
Yeah.
And we have a couple schools too, don't we?
We have a number of kids coming from Assabet Valley and another technical school. And
And then the students at
ROTC.
Monty Tech will be out helping with the event all day long.
The ROTC,
Yeah.
very helpful.
very
you.
helpful.
Yeah. So we're going to have vendors, different craft vendors. We're going to have music with Zach Slick.
Zach Slick.
Yep. And we're going to have food.
We're going to have a lot of food.
A lot of fun.
A lot of food. What kind of food?
Joel's
Joel's
a
food.
What are you making, Joel?
So because of the type of event, we selected smoked turkey legs.
Ooh, like medieval, like King
So I can
Richard's
imagine
Fair?
people walking around with them. And then we're going to do a chili and a bread bowl.
Ooh, brilliant.
And then I believe we might be doing half-pound hamburgers, cheeseburgers.
Nice. All right. So the Blacksmith Art and Music Festival, we're going to have music, art, blacksmithing, all that good stuff. That's Saturday, September 30th, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at Riverfront Park. Anything else to add? Oh, how about who's sponsoring the event?
Well, originally it started with my wife and back in 14 years ago, and she's been the backbone of this. But it's sponsored by our company, Achla Design, by Fitchburg Cultural Council, Enterprise Bank, and many other sponsors okay, that every year contribute money. And Joel has organized for beer, I guess. Yes.
Oh,
we
but you
left
said
that
brewery.
out.
Yep.
Like we're going to have Oktoberfest and Blueberry.
Blueberry. I talked to them tonight. They're ready to go.
Excellent.
So it'll be a great time, and hopefully the day is good, and Maria is gone.
It's a rain or shine event. though.
Rain or shine.
Rain or shine.
All right. Hope to see you there. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
discussing Fitchburg Now, our second half of our arts and culture. And we're going to talk about the Fitchburg Cultural Council now. Talk about the Massachusetts Cultural Council grants, the different grants that we can apply for, the different grants that people have applied for, the events that we have had thanks to the Fitchburg Cultural Council, Joe Bowen, and Eddie. Eddie's back. Hi.
Hey, Sam.
Hi, Joe. So, the Fitchburg Cultural Council, we are currently in the granting season, correct?
Correct.
It's the busy season.
Already underway. We're accepting applications. This year, it's an online application. This is the second year that we're doing online applications. And the grant season ends October 16th. Thank you. And so we'll be conducting a training session. I've got a few slides we'll get through to show some important dates and things you should know about the Cultural Council. And really, we're looking forward to this season. Real great thing this year is we're on a pilot program with the Mass Cultural Council. We've signed up for an opportunity for grant applicants to, when they get their grant funding approved, that they will receive a check so they can go right out and conduct their event and spend that money and not have to worry about coming up with it up front and filing it for reimbursement. So
Right,
it's
so
pretty exciting.
what it used to be was a reimbursement grant, where I say I want to host Sam's Super Music Festival Awesome Fun Time, and I want $1,000, and you're like, that sounds great, Sam. But I'd have to spend the $1,000 and show you receipts, and then I get a check after the event has happened.
Correct.
But now I can say, I want Sam's Super Fun Music Festival, $1,000, and you say, oh, that looks great. Here's a $1,000 check. Now I can spend that, and I just have to prove that I have spent it in accordance with my grant.
Correct. Yep.
So where can we see the grant application?
So the grant application is available through the Mass Cultural Council website. On the screen right here are some.
Oh, can we bring that up on the
I don't know if we can
screen?
get that on the screen, yeah.
There we go.
The link to the Mass Cultural Council website is there.
Just
That's
massculturalcouncil.org.
correct.
And from there, we can find our own Fitchburg Cultural Council?
I think it's
Yes.
LCC.
You can also go directly to the Fitchburg Cultural Council page as well, which is the mass-culture.org/Fitchburg.
Aha!
You can also search directly from the Mass Cultural Council website if you have any difficulty remembering or writing this down here.
You can also go to the Fitchburg Cultural Council Facebook page.
That's
and
correct.
We should have links right there.
We've got two places on Facebook. We have the Fitchburg Cultural Council page, which is our opportunity to provide you with as much information as possible on everything that we're up to in fostering the arts and so forth in the community of Fitchburg. But in addition to that, we created a Facebook public group, which you're welcome to join, and you can actually interact back and forth with other members of the community or others that are interested in the arts and culture in Fitchburg. I am a moderator on there, and I will be interacting with individuals where it
Answer questions,
seems to be
come up with good
appropriate, and I can answer
ideas.
questions. And we've got a couple other moderators on the site too, and it's new for us, so hopefully we get a lot of membership, and we can help grow our cultural council publicity, so to speak, so people know about us.
Right.
We
Because
kind of feel
people
like
don't
we've
know
been
how
hidden.
to, people generally
Yeah.
are like, grant, I don't know how to apply for grant, that sounds complicated. But it's really not that complicated. Eddie, you've
No.
done it.
Yes. Don't think it's, because a lot of people tell me, don't you need a grant writer or something? No, if I can do it, I'm not that smart. And also there's plenty of people that'll help that I found. Go to these info sessions if you can. But if you can't make it to that, there's plenty of people like the Facebook page or whatever. There's plenty of people that'll help you. Co helped me a lot, or the other people that are on that were on the board. This will work. This will work. This is all you have to do. And also I found for me. You don't have to limit yourself to just Fitchburg. You can, say if I wanted to do some teaching in Lunenburg or Leominster as well.
You could apply to the Lunenburg Cultural Council or the Leominster Cultural Council.
That's true. So, don't.
You could take your ACT regional.
That's it. You don't, and don't think that that your project is not good enough. Talk to these people about it, and they may give you some better ideas. I think if it's anything that supports the community, or just that brings people together, or involves participation of the community of any kind, I think it's a good thing.
Some examples of grants that have been applied and that, events that we've gotten to partake in. For example, the music on the Upper Common, right? The concerts on the Common. That was funded in part or in whole by the Fitchburg Cultural Council?
Yep, that's correct. I believe the concerts on the Common were funded in whole. We paid for the acts. And there were 38 total programs in the last grant season that were funded. We received over $100,000 worth of requests for grant funding, but we were only able to provide what the legislature has assigned to us for that year. And it was about $26,000.
And how much is it this year?
Well, interesting you should ask that. It has not been approved yet. The legislature sent their
the governor
amount to the
vetoed
governor.
it?
Governor vetoed it. The Senate last week overrode the veto, and it's going to the House by the end of this month. And we're hoping that they're also going to, it's vice versa. It was overridden in the House. It's about to go to the Senate before the end of this month. And
It's likely to be overridden because they did that last year as well. Didn't they?
It's likely, but you never know. So if you have any contacts with our senator's office, certainly contact them and encourage them to vote for the override so that we can have this funding next year.
And this is our state senator, like Jen Flanagan, for example, although she
Correct.
resigned, actually.
Yeah, I don't know who's
Okay.
our Senate contact now.
Yep.
Yeah,
But that's who.
right.
Okay, and so other programs, I know we have a lot of programs at the library, right? For the Cultural Council that has they funded the concerts on the Common.
Yep, that's correct. And actually, I don't know if in the back they can get the last slide up. I've got a few
Can you pull
pictures.
up the last slide, Mike?
A few pictures from events that we've done.
Oh, yeah, the Breakthrough Through Silence.
So yeah, in the upper left is the military band.
Yep,
Fitchburg military band.
Military
They're playing
Band.
at the Cogs Hall. We helped fund that. Kenisha's Breakthrough Silence, My Care Initiative event that she had at the library. In the upper right is Fitchburg Civic Days. We do funding for that as well.
Yep.
And
The Blacksmith Festival here?
Blacksmith Festival, which is coming up. We've given funds to that as well. And that's coming up in 2 weeks, actually.
Yes, September
And
30th,
I heard
10 a.m.
it's
to 4:30 p.m.
medieval themed. And
Oh, there's going to be
there'll
turkey legs.
Turkey legs for
Turkey
sale.
legs,
Yeah,
so yeah.
so that
Zach
should be
Slick will be
interesting.
playing.
Yep.
Yep.
Looks like the farmer's market.
And we fund the music program at the farmers market.
That makes it a nice, fun time.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And what's this in the bottom
In the
left?
bottom left is it's the poetry and spoken word night.
Oh, at the man cave.
Yep, that's right. And that's been pretty popular, and it's a fun time.
So I mean, a poetry night. That's not just something regular that you might think of.
Right.
That's something that look at how many people get together.
Yep, and all they came together
share.
to share stories, and you don't have to be a
But,
poet. You can
but
just go and
equipment costs
talk,
money to rent.
Yeah.
It costs money to host.
That's right.
You can't buy food with your grant, can you? For your event?
No, you cannot.
Cannot buy food.
Cannot buy food.
There's little restrictions.
Yes.
Yes. So what are some ideas of things that you wish people would apply for? One thing I saw last year was someone said, "Oh, we should do a model rocket contest." He said, "Oh, that might be something good for the
that
Cultural
could
Council
be.
grant.
That
A
could
model
be.
rocket contest because it costs money for materials, costs money to put that together."
Yeah. Yeah, so the Cultural Council is charged with taking input from the community on what our priorities should be for funding different events. And so we hold those meetings once a year. We had our last one on August 15th. There were a fair number of people came.
A couple dozen.
And gave us their thoughts on what the council should appropriate for funding for next year. And I actually have another slide on that. I'm not sure which number that one was.
Let's see.
But it's the one that starts with the eligibility criteria.
Oh, can you go to criteria and funding priority slide? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so on the lower half of that slide, this is what the public has asked the Cultural Council to give priority to fund this year.
Environmental education, youth programs outside of school, arts in the school, public events, support for community arts, and projects led by local artists.
Right.
So the Cultural Council will even fund field trips. like a
Yes.
science-based or arts-based field trip for students in all our public schools.
Yes, that's correct. And the Mass Cultural Council itself also provides a yellow school bus grant for $200 per, I think it's per school per year,
Per school, per year,
and until the money runs out.
right?
So
And that grant period just opened today.
It did. It opened at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Aha.
Yes, that's right.
So you can go to the Mass Cultural Council website and go to the school, the big yellow school
Look for the
bus.
big yellow school bus program and the instructions how to apply. Right
200
there.
bucks just adds a little bit, that's a little bit less than the PTO has to raise, all right? That's
Exactly.
$200 less the PTO has to raise, because
Yep.
busing's expensive.
Yeah, and it always comes in handy. Now, the good thing is with the, we do have our priorities, but that doesn't mean you can't apply for something that's not on the priority list. If it's something that the council feels is also beneficial for the community, we can certainly vote to agree to fund that as well. So don't let our priorities, dissuade you from applying. Yeah.
And so the online process takes, what would you say, about an hour to fill out the grant form?
I think it took me maybe that long.
Because it's basically, what are you applying for? Why are you applying for it? How is it a public benefit? What is the approximate budget? How do you plan to spend this budget? Anything else?
Yeah, you just,
If you aren't going to be fully funded for this event, how will you make up those
how
funds?
do you come up with the
Because we don't want to give out
Oh, yeah.
partial funding if you can't pick up the rest. Because then that money will never get spent, and we really want the money spent.
Right. So, you don't want to just wing an idea. You want to think about it.
yeah,
Try to put a
itemize
proposal
everything,
together.
and then, then as far as showing how it was spent as well, you have to,
Keep receipts.
yeah, try to.
And so one thing that you can use your cultural council funding for is advertising.
Yes.
Right, so if you're hosting an event, and you plan on hosting it anyway, but you'd like to advertise that en masse, you can apply for, I don't know, say $250 to put it in the newspaper.
Yes.
That's something that they might fund. They might choose
Correct.
to fund.
Yeah, or to make flyers, all this stuff. That's part
Yeah.
of the itemization. Is that a right word?
Sure.
I think so.
The itemized receipts.
Yeah. Itemization.
So-
and so in addition to the cultural council grant, the standard one, there's other little grants here like the big yellow school bus.
Right. These grants that are on screen here are from the Mass Cultural Council. We did talk about the Big Yellow School Bus, but there's also a festivals grant for $500, and the festivals grant is an opportunity for existing festival operators to enhance their programming. The application's open for the festivals running from March 1st to August 30th. That will open on January 5th. There's also additional awards you can get for artist fellowships. There are 2 awards, there's a $12,000 award and a $1,000 award. They're currently open taking applications for drawing, printmaking, poetry, and traditional arts disciplines. And that deadline is coming up on October 2nd.
So I could apply to be an artist.
Yes. Yes, you could.
And what's the last one?
So, and the last one is the Cultural Facilities Fund. So typically,
So this is something like the Stratton Players could apply for.
if they need a new furnace or something like
Or
the
the
New Players Theater Guild,
Guild.
they need that new furnace, right? So
Yeah.
this is an opportunity for them to get some funding for capital improvements, system replacements, feasibility, or technical assistance grants.
So that application's not open yet, but will be. Hopefully.
It depends if it's
soon.
funded. Yes,
Right.
we're waiting and keeping our fingers crossed that it will be funded, correct.
Because currently, you cannot use the Cultural Council grant, the Fitchburg Cultural Council grant, for your facilities.
Actually, that has changed this year. There is an eligibility to do that.
So if you need to build a stage
Yes.
for your theater,
Yes.
you could apply for, I don't know, $1,000 to build a stage because it's integral to your new theater program.
Yes.
That's something that might get funded.
That's something that's new this year.
And that's through the facilities fund or the local culture?
It's through either.
Oh,
Now,
oh,
yeah, the
okay.
local, it wasn't local before, but it is now.
So the main one is the LCC grant, right? That we want.
The local cultural
Correct.
council grant.
And what are the deadlines on that? That's what.
It's open. It's open now. It started September 1st.
Correct, and it's open through October 16th.
October 16th.
Mm-hmm.
So that
And
I
if
think
they're-
that's a good point to bring.
And
up.
is that the same deadline for all our local communities?
Yes,
Lunenburg, Leominster. It's Massachusetts wide.
that's correct.
Right? So if you wanted to host a festival or a spoken word in Fitchburg, in Leominster, in North Adams, you could apply to all three.
Yeah,
That's
and you can
correct.
pretty much copy and paste, although some need a letter, like Leominster. I think the local cultural council of Leominster needs someone from Leominster to write a letter of recommendation or of some kind.
That makes
So-
sense.
Yeah,
so that
every
you don't
local
just-
council has their own requirements.
So you don't just
Yeah, each one,
write
yeah.
200
Yes.
cultural council
Yep.
grants to every city and see what sticks.
Correct.
That makes sense.
So I don't know if it's okay, I could list off a bunch of programs that we've actually funded.
Please do,
If there are
yes.
people out
We have
out there
2.5 minutes.
watching, whatever, they're looking for ideas, or maybe they have ideas and
That's a
don't know if it
great.
will
That's a
fly.
great way to end our segment.
These are some of the things that we have funded just this past year. So we did talk about the music at the farmers market and the concerts on the Common. Not only did we fund the military band at Cogs Hall, we also funded other concerts at Cogs Hall.
Yeah, I had a concert at Riverfront
Right.
Park.
Yep, they just had the steel drum band last
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, and the Civic Days, the Rocksmith Festival. We talked earlier in the earlier part of the program about Eddie's
Music for Youth.
education for youth.
Yep.
That program, we funded the holiday lighting ceremony.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
a component of
With
that.
Santa.
Yeah, with Santa up at the Upper
duck
Common.
thing, was that funded?
That's part of Civic Days. So,
Oh,
yeah.
the duck race.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We gave funds for the Historical Society for their 125th anniversary campaign for community engagement.
Oh, yeah. There was
And-
that slideshow on Main Street
Right.
projected.
Yeah, and the Sizer Dance Club and other dance events that we did. We
Like
talked about
Fitchburg
that.
High Musical,
Yep,
they could apply.
they could apply
Okay, yeah.
for sure. We funded Fitchburg Ghost Tours.
That was
That
fun.
was, that
They
was
didn't do
a
it
nice
last
thing. I
year,
didn't know
did
that we
they?
had that last year when I saw the grant app.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if they held it or not, but we did.
I know they
offer
did
to
2
fund
years
it.
ago.
Yeah. Multiple field trips, which we had referenced. We helped fund the high school library mural, which I'm not sure if it's been completed yet. I haven't seen the photos and reimbursement forms yet, but I hope that project took off and will be completed soon. The Red Raiders Lending Library and Revolving Museum puts on an eco art mobile. So we have funded that. And the Juneteenth Festival, we've
At
funded the
Riverfront Park.
and the plays for the New Players Theater Guild, we funded those. And Literacy, Math, and Science Fair. And I was wrapping up with Kenisha's Breakthrough Silence, but we already mentioned that earlier.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
So these are all the funding opportunities that people have had already through our local cultural council, the Fitchburg Cultural Council. And grant applications are open now up until October 16th. And these are also statewide as well. So you can go to the Fitchburg Cultural Council website, right, through massculturalcouncil.org, and you can find Fitchburg in there, or you can just go to the Fitchburg Cultural Council Facebook page and you'll have all the links that you need.
Correct.
Thank you so much, Joe Bowen from our
pleasure.
Fitchburg Cultural Council for coming on, Eddie from Eddie's Music.
Thanks.
All right, great. So yeah, this is Discussing Fitchburg Now. We'll see you later.